Ruth has questions about the heart-to-heart quilt. Ruth, coming to ask you to unmute.
Hello.
Hello. Let me just find you and add you to the spotlight. Hello. Now you're in France, right?
Yes.
I'm happy to see you here. It's not too late in the evening.
Now it's almost 10, but I just ran down 3 floors and back up with the transformer to plug in my computer.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't have the right plug adapter, so
We had that problem going over to Sweden this last year. We went to England, and I usually going to Sweden, my dad has everything, and it never occurred to me that going to England, my dad wasn't going to be there. And so we wound up having to go on a trip out to the closest Boots to get a thing so we could plug phones in, this, that, and the other in.
sometimes hard to find. We've moved here. It's been almost 3 years, but we're still just such a mess with the plugs. So
Yeah. It's like everywhere in Europe needs a different plug, so, right?
yes, yes, for sure. And the US uses 110 and here it's 220. So that's a big difference too.
Yeah.
But the Bernina works. The Berninas work, no problem.
You know, when I have a Bernina 801 Sport that my mom and dad gave to me for my 18th birthday.
Wow.
And I was determined that any kids that I had were going to learn to sew on this machine. And so when Heather was born, I actually brought the machine over here. And then, of course, it's an English plug with English power and all of that. Like you just said, I had to buy a transformer, which is almost as big as the embroidery or the sewing machine itself.
They
And then
make
by
them
the
smaller.
time they learned, yeah, by the time they wanted to learn to sew, I had the 8 series machines, and they did not want anything to do with anything lesser or lower in the embroidery machine range. So anyway,
Right, with
so
a transformer inside, just like a computer, right?
say again.
I think the sewing machine, it has a transformer internally, right?
The new ones do, yes, but the one for the 801 Sport, so let's see, 18
Right. That's a long time ago.
so that would have been 1985, not to give
Right.
my age away, but yeah, 1985 they did not have the transformer inside the machine, which is why we had to buy one
Right.
in order to plug it
Yeah.
in. So anyway, you are working on the heart-to-heart quilt.
I'd like to. I want to. So I'm very confused about um, putting stabilizer when you're quilting in the hoop. I've never done that. I've only quilted in the hoop without stabilizer.
So
Eh,
to make the full-blown twin-size quilt,
Right.
there shouldn't be any stabilizer in the hoop for the quilting part of it.
Good. Good.
Now, one thing that we did there, so for the heart-to-heart quilt, you're essentially working on, I think, the 14-inch blocks. So you're going to do the applique first, right? And then there's some piecing to do, I think, for all 3 sizes of the heart. And you're essentially going to end up with a 14-inch square that you're going to layer with some batting and some backing fabric.
Okay.
Right? And you're going to quilt the quilt sandwich. Now, because a 14-inch square, even if you've got a couple of inches around the edge of extra backing and backing fabric, that's not a great big thing to get situated in a hoop, especially if you're using one of the larger hoops. So what you'll find in the heart-to-heart instructions is instructions for using a piece of template plastic. And you're basically going to make a piece of template plastic to fit your hoop. Or you're going to put it into your hoop, cut a hole out of the middle of it, and then you can you can position your quilt block or quilt sandwich
in that opening,
in that space, so that the template plastic is giving you a place to attach to, but the hole in the middle of it is going to let you quilt through all 3 layers without having any stabilizer involved.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sort of. So what I'm actually doing is I would actually hoop what I could manage of the block itself plus the template on top with the opening cut in it.
Well, you're actually going to, I think for the way that we did it, and it's a fair long while ago, but because of the size of the blocks and because of the size of the quilting designs, unless you have a lot of excess batting and backing fabric, it's really hard to get into the hoop. Right, and have the hoop secure. So and I don't have any template plastic to hand, otherwise I would show you. Maybe for March 15th I can get some template plastic in.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
And I'll show you, but literally get a piece of template plastic and let's see, cut it to the size of your inner hoop.
Oh, you actually hooped the plastic?
Yeah. Yeah, you actually you don't hoop the plastic. If you get a piece of template plastic, sit it on the table, put the inner hoop on top of it, draw around the outside, cut out the excess, and then use tape to hold the template plastic to the bottom of your hoop.
Okay.
Right? Does that make sense? Yep. And then cut a hole out of the template plastic. Actually, cut a hole out of the template plastic before you attach it to the inner hoop. And then you've essentially got a piece of template plastic in the hoop. It's not going anywhere.
Okay.
You can use it over and over and over again. And your quilt sandwich, you can attach it using tape to the inner hoop, but you've got the hole in the plastic so you can do the quilting.
Okay. Good. Good to know. Good to know. And then do you have a video of that?
You know what? We do not have a video specifically for the Heart to Heart collection. We actually released that before we started, but I'm kind of thinking that it really could use a video. Maybe, let me think. I might let me see about using that same technique in the Awakened Hearts collection for the quilting. Even if I have to make up a different block to go in there, because I think it's actually a really valid way of quilting smaller pieces.
Right.
Especially, in Heart to Heart, because the pieces are all joined using sashing anyway.
Well, that was in my other question. So once the block is ready to get the sashing, has it been embroidered all the way through the backing too?
Yes.
So isn't that a little bit uncomfortable?
No.
Okay.
Let me see. It comes to something when you're texting somebody who's upstairs, but Jasmine is upstairs. I'm going to see if she can actually bring the quilt down.
That'd be great. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I came on. We're staying up to 10. But that's really good. That's good to know. The template thing, I have to wrap my brain around it. But
it does take a bit of getting used to, but once you've actually seen it, I think you'll see that it works really well.
I'd love to see it. And I have time because it's really just for my grandkids who are, they're little still. So one is 6 and the other one's 4. I mean, I have a little bit of time. It's not like they're going to grow out of that right away,
Let me write myself a reminder.
That'd be great. That would be great. Even a photograph of how you did that template would be really good.
Well, one of the things about the templates is that they are disposable. And we moved since making the quilt and threw out so much stuff. But it's super easy to get some new template plastic and yes, so definitely for next time in a couple of weeks I can show you what's what.
And the bigger of the 3 hearts in that collection, does it fit in the new medium size? Oh, we wouldn't want to use that because it doesn't have an inner hoop. It's the new medium clamp thing, you know. But that doesn't have an inner hoop, so it'd be better to use either the midi or the maxi or the
Well,
large oval.
that so it's 9-inch square, right?
Yeah, but only stitches, I think, to about 8 inches. It doesn't really stitch all the way to 9, you know.
You might try using that to do your
I love that.
quilting.
I do love the hoop. I could
Yeah,
measure what it.
that might actually work.
We did a design on a block yesterday to see how big we could go, you know, and I'm pretty sure it went about 8 inches.
Okay, as long as the design fits in it, that might actually be a good way to go.
Okay.
Because a 14-inch block with a couple of inches on either side of it is going to be 18-inch square, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you might be able to get what you want to quilt in the right spot on the hoop. It would be worth trying it.
Okay.
Hold, Jazzy just came. Heather's Heart to Heart quilt, the pink one, the pink and white one that we made for her for going to university. I think it's in her closet. I have the feeling it's in her closet. Well, it might be in her closet, but we checked that one. Well, like, yeah, it's not in there. Okay, it turns out we think the quilt is in Tucson with Heather, which actually is where it should be. I just thought it was in that in a bedroom up here. But March 15th, I will figure out a template for you.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. So March 15th is good. That's really good because I'm still here. Good. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And I have better internet here. So that's really good. Okay. And then so whether it's the clamp or I have the midi, I have the maxi, I have the clamp. So that's
which
all
machine
good.
are you stitching on?
Look at this baby.
Ooh, beautiful.
Rose gold.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
75.
So you got your maxi hoop. Yeah, try the clamp hoop because I think that should. I think you might actually be able to use that without having to go down the template route.
Okay, I love the clamp thing. It's really nice. And I also have now, you know, not we all, but whoever wanted to pay for it, I got the plus. So I have pinpoint placement. And I didn't know if that was good enough to place, you know, things after.
Is it the 2-point placement or have you got the new with the 4-point placement?
The 2-point, because the new one only comes with the pro, you know, only comes with the really expensive.
So my issue with the 2-point placement is that when you're aligning a quilting design, you really need at least 3 points because you want to be able to go this way and this way.
Right.
And with 2 points, you can only go in one direction.
True. That is
true.
But
if I actually did an experiment. Bill and Sue live not far from here, and they came over one day. Bill had been using the pinpoint placement on his Sunshine Cove quilt, I think it was, and having a little challenge with it. And we had a contest to see which was more accurate, pinpoint placement or my technique. And it turns out that my technique is more accurate more of the time.
That I believe, because I have realized I try to use the pinpoint every time I embroider something just because it's what I have. But I have to say that I now go back and check the 4 corners of the basting box again, because like you said, it needs to be at least 3 points to really give
the pinpoint placement is fabulous if you are, let's say, positioning an applique shape or an embroidery design on a garment or on a quilt or anywhere, because you only really need 2 places to do that alignment. For a quilting design, you're fitting a design around something else.
Right, okay.
And in which case you need to go in, you need to look at both directions. And
Yes.
pinpoint, the 2-point pinpoint placement can't do that.
That's true, yeah, okay.
Which is probably why they created the 4-point pinpoint placement on the plus machines. Or the pro machines.
I was actually surprised when I got pinpoint placement that it gives you all these, I don't know how, 9 places that you could touch, but it only allows you to set 2 of them. And I thought, well, why didn't they just give us the 9 places or the at least 4, you know? So, but anyway, maybe they'll do an upgrade or an update, you know?
Yeah, I think the pro machine has 4-point placement.
Yeah, well, that one,
I think they made it a lot better.
Yeah, you can actually distort a little bit.
Yeah.
So the question then would be too, I do have software that helps, but it doesn't really write, not for placement. But I was thinking
software isn't going to do you any favors for placing a quilting design.
Right, okay. So yeah, I like your template idea though. That's a good idea. And I will try to do it that way. And I don't mind doing the sashing after, you know, to as long as I know that it's not gonna be scratchy on the back.
It'll
be
no
soft.
Scratchy. No.
Okay, because they're little girls, you know.
Yeah, no scratching involved. It's gonna be really nice and soft.
Okay. Their favorite thing, they always say, I want my soft blankie that you made me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to lose my status as grandma makes a soft blankie.
Oh, I love that. Well, really I will see you if you're able to get back here on March 15th. I'll show you how to do
I was gonna go to my other place in the west of Brittany, and Brittany, but there is really out in the middle of nowhere and there's not very good internet. But here we actually changed plans, so I'm here. So that'll be good.
Okay.
So I'm in the southwest. I'll be in the northwest next time.
I'll see you in a couple of weeks then.
Thank you for all your help. I really appreciate that.
You are welcome. It's so nice to actually see you in person, Ruth.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.